So the pundits have already picked apart the Charger coaches. It was only a matter of time before they were going to go after the Charger players, am I right? LeBron James' parents have let him out for warm-ups once again, and rumors are swirling about a fourth designated player for MLS teams. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is November 24th, 2023, Black Friday. Now, if you're like me and you're too busy flying off to parts unknown to work to take part in said mall disasters, what do you say you talk a little LA sports with me? If you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. It keeps me going, keeps me happy. Like hearing from you. Before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. 23rd ranked USC basketball defeated Seton Hall 71-63. Boogie Ellis scored 22 points. Meanwhile, today, starting off with the Kings over at Anaheim at 12:30. Is Quinton Byfield starting to figure it out? He's played 17 games this year, and yeah, only 3 goals, but 15 points overall, almost a point per game clip. His career high, by the way, in points in a year is 22. He's going to destroy that really quickly. Also, New Orleans is at the Clippers at 7:30. This is the in-season tournament thing that I'm honestly not giving much of a rip about. The Clippers are on a 3-game winning streak. Oklahoma is also playing 23rd ranked USC. By the way, this is a tournament over at UC San Diego. Even if you win the tournament, big whoop, right? So let's get to the news. An anonymous executive in the AFC told 2 ESPN pundits that, quote, outside of the quarterback and left tackle, they, the Chargers, don't have enough good young players right now, unquote. Justin Herbert, Rashawn Slater. That's it. That's it. Now, you might want to be insulted by that. I could get it if you would want to be insulted by that. But then you think a second time. We're going to start by defining what is young. Now, to me, young means you haven't reached your prime yet. And in professional athletics, most cases, you're reaching your prime at age 28. So how many impact players do the Chargers have that are younger than that? Well, obviously Slater and Herbert. But then you sit there and you look through the roster, particularly in the first string, and to be honest, this executive might have a point. He really might have a point. Because that would include rookie Quentin Johnston. Only 20 catches. Drop prone has been the way he's been described as a rookie, right? That would include, by the way, the entirety of the starting offensive line, not just Slater. And I do recognize that Corey Linsley is an elite center, but he is out. Everyone else on the Chargers offensive line is younger than 28. And we're sitting there like, wait a second, wasn't this offensive line hyped up before the year? Absolutely it was. But according to Pro Football Focus, or POOF, this line, which was ranked the 6th best offensive line before the season started, isn't even top 10. Not now. It's meh. It's not terrible, but it's not elite. Justin Herbert is not getting the elite protection. There's not elite lanes opening up for Austin Eckler. And then you go over and you look at the defense. Now, I get what I'm about to say. The Chargers often play nickel, right? But if they had 4 defensive backs instead of always playing 5, 3 of them are younger than 28. 3 of them. And oh, by the way, didn't Coach Brandon Staley said, you know what? We're looking at everybody as potentially being replaced in the defensive backfield. So in other words, in key parts where the Chargers are wanting, defensive pass coverage, super young, not getting results. needing a running game, not getting results, needing a second pass catcher now that you only have Keenan Allen, not getting results. So maybe the impact from the youth is not as strong as we had previously thought. I'm not saying I know the answer for sure. If you want to disagree with me, you go right ahead. I'd love to hear you out. But I'm telling you, there might be reason for concern there. We can now be sure that Bronny James's family is pulling all of the strings like marionettes behind the USC player's comeback. Now, James, he's of course the son of LeBron, who does like to control narratives. Bronny James had a cardiac event in the summer. Now, Bronny is taking part in the pregame warm-ups, right? Doing the layup drills, God knows what. But he's not practicing or playing. Now, we would be okay with that if this was an indicator of something. So the scribes obviously are going up to Andy Enfield, the coach, and asking, hey, is that an indicator of something? And he won't tell. He won't tell. Why? Because, quote, as soon as a family wants to put out a statement, they will do that. I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm just a basketball coach, so I don't deal with the medical side of things, unquote. Okay, this is the second time he said that he doesn't have the authority to talk about it. HIPAA is one thing. That is fine. HIPAA is one thing. But we're not asking you to break down how blood pumps through the four chambers of the heart, through the arc of the aorta, through the carotids, etc. We are asking you a simple question. He is taking part in pregame warm-ups. When is he coming back on the court? That is not a medical question. And by the way, that involves playing time, depth charts, plays that could be called, who gets final shots, who gets any shots. All of that is relevant. All of that goes under Coach Enfield's purview. And the thing that really bothers me the most about this, and I like LeBron James, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to parent. That's not the point. The point is, we're supposed to know about these teams, who we're supposed to know who the starters are. We're supposed to know how these things flow. This is not supposed to be, it is your team, coach. It is not LeBron James's team. That's my point. It is not LeBron James's team. And oh, by the way, LeBron James isn't even the main recruit on that team. It was Isaiah Collier. The team runs through Isaiah Collier, not Bronny James. This team would still be where it is without Bronny James. How do we know? Because Bronny James hasn't played for them yet. Andy Enfield, totally getting bossed around by an adult who doesn't even play for his team. Meanwhile, over at USC football, no defensive coordinator, still getting a linebacker to commit. And I got to tell you, that's literally like being set up with a chick with a bag on her head, right? If you want to come to USC, I'm not going to stop you. I'd rather USC get as much talent as it can. But so be it. Desmond Stevens from a high school in Michigan has committed to play for the Trojans. He is the 18th commitment of the class of 2024. He is considered a top 30 linebacker. Pardon me, still getting over a cold. He said he came for the people, the business school, and the vibe, man. The vibe. Sounds like a SoCal already. Welcome to the family, because you damn sure didn't come for Alex Grinch. Word. A guy who covers the New England Revolution in Major League Soccer reports that multiple sources have told him the league will allow a fourth designated player in 2024. And boy, did this just release fountains of orgasmic pleasure across for many teams' fan bases, including, frankly, the LA Galaxy. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm skeptical. And here's why. Nobody else thinks this is last minute. Nobody. Don't these things supposedly get planned out years in advance? Not like 2 months before training camp begins? You're going to tell me you're going to just take your free agent rules and just tear them up to shreds 2 months before training camp? Now, the only way that this makes sense is if Inter Miami, because they have Lionel Messi, who is the game's best player, not just in the United States, the entire world. Only if Lionel Messi just knocked on the door and said, I want things my way, and MLS would kiss the ring, right? Okay, then if it makes sense. But if that was the case, wouldn't this report be coming out of Miami, not Boston? There's nothing, by the way, on the MLSsoccer.com website, nothing from the league offices that's saying we're talking about this. Nothing. Just one rando reporter from Boston. So no, I'm going to be skeptical. And by the way, if you're saying, well, who does it favor more? If that's the case, the Galaxy or LAFC, I'm here to tell you it's probably the Galaxy. Because LAFC is fond of not blasting out all of its DPs at once. Pardon me. Enjoying this cold. The Galaxy, they're more than willing to spend. They were the number 2 team in terms of payroll last year. So it'll definitely benefit players who go to the Galaxy. I'm not saying it'll put them on par with everybody else going for MLS Cup, but it certainly could hasten the rebuild. Now, as for LAFC, manager Steve Cherundolo gave his team a clean bill of health ahead of Sunday's match with Seattle. So there's that. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me if the Chargers' younger players are not keeping up their end of the bargain. Talk to me about USC, whether it's basketball or football. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be over the cold. Faithful Angelenos is a Cam Cortell Queso production. Take care.